The next Switch model is foldable. Guys, this is the first upload of the year. What? Happy 2022! Pew, pew, pew. Fireworks! Ah. There's so many incredible Nintendo things coming in 2022. Like, I cannot even wrap my brain around that, like, 2022 is here and actually happening, because there's so many exciting things to talk about. All right. Let's get into them. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 2022. We've got incredible games coming this year. Breath of the Wild 2. Like, you could just like mic drop it at Breath of the Wild 2, but I'm not going to. Pokemon Arceus. Splatoon 3. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Bayonetta 3. Advance Wars 1 and 2, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and more. Like, I'm sorry, I can't make plans for all of 2022. I've got too many games to play. We've also got Game Boy games coming to the Nintendo Switch Online, and while this has not been like confirmed based on leaks, it's happening, guys. I'm manifesting it for us. I'm speaking it as fact. We are getting Game Boy games on Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Switch Pro. Again, I'm manifesting this one. We did just get an OLED, but the only real thing that I see keeping us from getting an upgrade is shortages. So if they're able to solve the huge tech shortage problems that are going on, I could definitely see us getting a new console in 2022. You guys have to take a look at this lost Game Boy Color smartphone. That's right, we could have had a Game Boy Color smartphone. This is not just like a mock-up. This is an actual thing that a historian uncovered, and it's blowing my mind. Like, a lot of these technical advances are right on the nose for what we ended up having today. This device was dubbed as the Page Boy. Sorry, it made me think of Kenneth from 30 Rock. This device had a radio transmission, which when connected, allowed Game Boy Color users access to lots of information, including weather reports, sports headlines, and even television. What? We don't even have television on our freaking Switches now. And I know a lot of you are wondering, why the heck didn't we see this happen? Why did Nintendo pass on it? And the reason why is because Nintendo found out that it would work best in North America and not as well in Japan and Europe, which once again is why we cannot have nice things. Is it a bad thing, Nintendo, if we get the good thing? It always has to work for Japan, but what about us? That being said, it's such a cool device, and I'm just glad to know it exists, and I hope you are too. Nintendo Minute is ending. I feel like this came out of nowhere. And I'm not alone in feeling that way. I feel like a lot of fans were not prepared for the tweets announcing that Nintendo Minute was coming to an end, and we weren't really given a reason. And while they didn't give a reason, I have some possibility as to what I think the possibility for why it was canceled. So in October of 2021, Nintendo announced that they are closing some of their Nintendo of America offices. The two offices were the one in Ontario, Canada, and the one in Redwood City, California. Now this is the one we need to keep an eye on, Redwood City, because where did they film Nintendo Minute? That's right, in Redwood City. So I think it was when Nintendo closed those offices that obviously led to them losing their studio space, as well as the fact that the people who were the hosts of the channel, they had like actual jobs at Nintendo in marketing, which I didn't know. I just assumed like their whole job was Nintendo Minute, but like, no, they had like actual other responsibilities outside of that. So both of them are getting moved either to working from home or other offices, so it just makes sense that having a Nintendo Minute and figuring out a new studio space and all of that would just be too much on their plate. Dun, dun, dun! The new Panda controller Kickstarter has been canceled. What? I know, why can't we have nice things? This is actually, though, honestly, the first time it's not been Nintendo's fault that we're not getting something cool, which is pretty crazy in the grand scheme of things. Like, Nintendo lawyers are finally like, hey, we didn't do this one, guys. This one is not our fault. You wanna know whose fault it is? I'll give you a hint. Her name starts with a C and ends with Rona. Unfortunately, despite raising almost $2 million, which their original goal was only 100,000. Shipping just came to bite them in the butt. Unfortunately, with all the cutbacks and shortages in productions and problems with shipping going on, they just weren't able to get things out in the time frame that they wanted to, so they went ahead and canceled it prematurely. That being said though, don't be sad, the project is not scrapped forever. They said that it is just currently on pause. Even though people got their money back, they're still planning on revisiting this project when there is going to be more supplies and when shipping is not quite a giant mess that it is right now. One of the most exciting things of 2020 that I've heard so far is that Breath of the Wild 2 has a rumored new release date, and I'm a believer, da, 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 da. I'm ready to get hurt again. New year, new me believing in rumors that are maybe not true. This rumor seems pretty solid though, I will say, especially because it has backing from IGN founder Pure Schneider, who recently said in an interview, quote, "It appears that Nintendo will have a strong year next year. I would never see the lack of significant announcements, even at the Game Awards, as an indication that Breath of the Wild is on hold or that they have nothing else in the works, because it sounds like Nintendo employees are very enthusiastic about 2022, which to me says I've got some inside information that Breath of the Wild is officially on track for 2022. And if they're planning on coming out with a new console, that would also be the ideal time to drop a new console. So it seems like winter, November-esque 2022 is when we are finally gonna see Breath of the Wild 2. Which makes a lot of sense too, because that gives them enough time to put out like more trailers and promotional materials, because they have been very scarce. All of us are parched. We need more Breath of the Wild 2 news. Guys, something crazy happened, and that is there are Mario Kart 9 leaks. And I was like not even thinking about Mario Kart 9. Like Nintendo has just been keeping us so busy with so many other things, like the Switch Pro and Breath of the Wild 2. Like I was not even in my brain thinking that Nintendo would even be working on another Mario Kart, but it just makes sense. Like how could we been so blind? Leaker New Mark Amaro hinted that there are going to be some major changes coming to Mario Kart 9, and I'm excited about all of these. He literally described it as a combination between Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart, which I was like, what? I didn't even know I needed that. It also had a big focus in the online community with lots of weekly stuff to do and new ways to race, not just karts and bikes, which I'm like, what? What are we racing? And new ways to take down other racers. Does that mean like the blue shell is going to be the shell of the past? Who knows? But I cannot wait to get my hands on a game like this. Like that just seems so fun and so innovative. There is some bad news, unfortunately, that comes along with this leak as well. And that is that in the same breath he stated all of these incredible things that have been leaked for the Mario Kart 9 game, is that with the success of Mario Kart 8, Nintendo actually put Mario Kart 9 on hold because 8 was just selling so well. So that unfortunately when they revisit Mario Kart 9, there may be some changes and some features that have been leaked may have been taken out. And that does suck, because again, I can't wait to get my hands on this game. This sounds so fun. Like I can't even wrap my brain around like new ways to race. And like Mario Kart has always had like mini games, but to me this just like seems like a really fun way, and like the online added community, especially just of this year where it feels like a lot of us are connecting online instead of in person now more than ever. I think that's a really fun way to enhance a Mario Kart experience, especially for those of us who miss being able to play Mario Kart with our friends in person. Nintendo's next Switch model could be foldable. That's right, foldable. So it's no secret that flip phones and dual screens are back, and it seems like the next Switch Pro may bring that back with a vengeance. In fact, there are rumors of a new 4K Switch model with dual screens that's still compatible with the OLED dock, which is crazy. It's really interesting to me too, because earlier when we were seeing leaks for the Switch Pro, which ended up just being the OLED, there were a lot of dual screen models. Like there was a mock-up we saw where it had 2 screens and you could see Link like falling all the way down both screens, which again would tie in perfectly to Breath of the Wild 2 and would really make sense why that game would be a title release on a console that looks like this. And currently with the Switch, there is a touchscreen capability, even with a stylus, very Nintendo DS-esque, if you will. But this is not getting utilized on a lot of games. So I could see Nintendo doing something that would heighten people wanting to utilize, again, that touchscreen and stylus play style. Plus, this would be a really easy way to revamp the Switch in a way that it's not gonna look like those new copycats that are coming out and look like its own thing again, which is like, no, this is the actual Switch. This is the revamped model. Everything else you have right now is just a copy. They're just trying to be what the old Switch was. We're so 2008 and they're so 2000 and late. Now, this is where the hard part of the rumors are for me. The rumors are that in TV mode, you can actually detach the top screen and use it as well as like a handheld kind of play pad. And to me, that's where the red flag is, because things just went so wrong with the Wii U that I wonder if Nintendo would even bother ever having a handheld and TV gameplay in cooperation with each other ever again. It could be Nintendo just wanting to vindicate themselves as well and prove to everybody that it was a really great idea. It was just ahead of its time. That being said, I am loving the mock-up designs of this rumor. I am all for anything that has a double screen and Link just falling down the center of it. I will say this again, I feel like a major thing that points to maybe this dual screen idea actually being true is the fact that we know that Nintendo has already put a lot of effort into enhancing Link's gameplay while free falling in the air. There are going to be a lot of free fall battles in Breath of the Wild 2. Nintendo already patented it, so we already know that that is a fact. And what a better way to enhance that on a console than a free fall through 2 screens? Like, come on! To those of you who got a Switch for the holidays, first of all, congratulations, welcome to the club. A round of applause for you, yay! Here are 5 quick things you can do to improve your overall Switch experience. Number 1, build out your library, which I know you're like, whoa, I got like 2 games for Christmas. I'm gonna be playing these for a while, and totally. But there's a way to build out your library without spending any extra money, and that is with free games. And you know, I am all about saving money here and having a good time. So my number 1 recommendation is for you to build out your library with free games. For free. Here are 3 super popular free games to get you started. Of course, the inevitable Fortnite, Warframe, and Pokemon Unite. All of these should definitely keep you busy for a little while, and there's tons more. Those are just 3 of them. There are tons of other free games for you to check out. If you also have your eye on some special games you didn't get this holiday season, you can actually go through the Nintendo eShop and add them to your wish list, and you will get alerts for when they are on sale. You can also check out their great deals tabs. These are really easy ways for you to just get set up to save some money. Number 2, this kind of ties into number 1 as well, but there is a way to remove the password requirement from the eShop, which life-changing. Even if you've had a Switch for a while. To do this, you're going to open the eShop, you're going to click your profile icon, then you're going to click through your account information, and there should be a password entry setting. And there you go, your life just got 5 times better. You're welcome. Number 3 is to back up your data with cloud saves. So this one may be a little bit of controversial advice, and the only reason why is because it does have an additional cost to it, which is kind of a bummer. But the number 1 reason why I recommend this is that if you lose your Switch or it gets stolen, or even if you're just transferring over into a new Switch, this will save your data for you in a cloud and make it very easy to transfer onto a new Switch. There is a non-paid version of doing this where you just have your old device and your new device and you just like manually like move them over. But the problem with that is that you would need the old device to do that if you do not pay for the cloud saves, which again, if it gets stolen or lost, you will not have. The cloud saves will save your behind, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that bad when you think about how much time you invest into these games. Number 4 is to make an extra account. Yes, this is even if you know you're the only person who's going to be playing on your Switch. And I'll tell you why. I guarantee you, you're gonna bring it with you to family events and your cousin or whoever is gonna ask to play on it. And if you have them play on your profile, it's gonna mess up your save data. But if you have it on another profile, it just starts the game all over for them, and that's just all on their little guest side. Not only that, but you can change the location of the profiles. So I'm not saying I suggest it, but I'm not saying I don't suggest it. If you want to have a second profile that's set in Japan, you can do that. Like, there's nothing stopping you. And then if there's Japan exclusives, you can access them. But I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you to do it. And number 5, this is for everyone. Even if you've already had a Switch for a while, that is to connect your Bluetooth headphones to your Switch. Woo! This was like a giant thing when we got this capability on the Switch. Like, you newbies do not understand what we went through, okay? We had old-fashioned over-the-ear headphones plugged in, trying to have sound for the Switch. Take advantage of this precious gift. And for those of you who just got new headphones for Christmas, don't forget to set them up with the Bluetooth on your Switch. You, yes you, I'm talking to you. All right, friends, that's all I have for you. Thanks so much for hanging out both in 2021 and 2022. Let's have a great year.